the sages, listen, the sages were arguing, okay, whether you take the majority ruling, okay, regarding a rule or majority consensus regarding a ruling, or whether you don't, okay, because they were arguing a specific ruling in the Torah. And so the majority of rabbis agreed on something. And then there was one rabbi, one sage, who didn't agree. And so God said, the truth is with the minority, with the one rabbi, not with the consensus. God spoke. And then the Jews rejected what God said, and they said, no, we have the Torah. In the Torah, it's the consensus, it's the majority, and if it's the majority, then we take it. They rejected what God said, and then God said, my children have overcome me. My children have overcome me. Is that right?
Yes. And what is the point there?
So I do know the context.
Hold on. Well, actually, you just read it from the computer, and I'm glad that.
Well, what computer? Yo, you're coping, bro. I literally said it off the dome. What computer, man?
Okay. The joke that's being made here, is what does God say to the Jews? In the book of Deuteronomy, he says it's not in heaven, referring to the Torah. It's with you. And so that's the joke. It's not.
Okay, so then they beat him in a debate, right?
So the joke is that the Torah is not in heaven with God. It's down here on earth with
Okay,
us.
Good. So they beat him. So can you confirm?
I know you don't.
Did they beat him in a debate? Just answer. Did they beat him in a debate?
It literally, God is laughing. It's not meant to be taken literally.
Okay. Did they beat him in a debate before he left?
Okay, he did in that story, in that narrative device, like Shrek. God laughs. Yes, God
lost a debate to a bunch of Jews.
This miserable missionary purposefully twists the words of the Talmud in a venomous attempt to fabricate a non-existent absurdity into the text. The context involves a debate where the minority opinion of Rabbi Eliezer was supported by signs and wonders that heaven and earth were on his side. Eventually, Rabbi Eliezer received approval through a heavenly voice. The sages understood that a court is forbidden from deviating from the system of jurisprudence laid out by God at Sinai. This includes always ruling in accordance with the majority. By hearkening and remaining faithful to the eternal system of Sinai, where God laid out that we are never in any instance to deviate from, see Deuteronomy 29:28, the sages succeeded in passing God's test. The point of the story is not to say that humans are a higher authority than God, or that, quote-unquote, they beat God in a debate, but rather just the opposite, that there is no higher authority than God, and as a result, you cannot disobey God's eternal word. Since the Torah had already been decreed as eternal, the sages understood that the voice of God must have been a test to see if they would remain faithful and loyal to the eternal will of God, or if they would deviate and depart and follow man's will by siding with the minority. Hence Hashem smiled and said, my children have succeeded me, as they had passed God's test, which had been sent out for them. Notice the word lenetzach, which means to succeed, as they had passed God's challenge, not overcome, as this deceiver attempts to claim. If you enjoyed our video, please like and subscribe.